Hi guys, it's April and I am going to be setting up my grow lights today. So this is one of my shelves that I normally use for starting my seeds. I have another one on the opposite side as well. I am gardening down in southeast Nebraska, zone 5B, so I haven't started anything yet, but I want to get these shelves set up before I even have to think about that, because if I don't have these ready by the time I have my starts ready, I'm in trouble. So this is where I've always done it in times past. This is my third year gardening. I do have some new lights. I took down the ones I have been using previously. They have on and off stopped working on me, and I just decided to start fresh. Plus, Amazon Prime Day kind of got me, and I may have gone a little crazy ordering grow lights. So I have kind of configured these how I want to. I have never used some of these lights. I will link them down below, but I can't tell you if they're good or not. I do have a second area that I want to set up as well in case this becomes too crowded, because the more I garden, the more I want to grow. But this is where I'm going to start. Each of these shelves holds a standard tray. So depending on if I want to start smaller pots or 6 pots or 4-inch pots or 2-inch pots, these are always my base. This is always what I have down at the bottom of the shelf, and these fit in perfectly. I can kind of show you that. So as you can see, I've already got the lights sitting on the shelves on how I want to arrange these things, but this is my tray, this is my shelf, and it is a near perfect fit. I've got a little bit of extra wiggle room on either side, which is nice, which is why I like doing it over here. Now, how am I gonna set up these lights? So these aren't going to be adjustable lights. I have some 3M strips that I am just gonna attach it to the bottom of these shelves. And I like using 3M strips because they give me the ability that if one of these lights go out, I can easily take it down and I can put a new light up without doing permanent damage to these shelves. I do have some more adjustable lights that I'm gonna do in the other space that I was telling you about, because that's a more temporary light setup. That this I could probably be growing on all year, whereas the other area is kind of just overflow just in case, and normally it's where my godchildren play, so I don't want to take that space all year around. So I'm going to start with this space right here. I have two what are these? These are 24 watt white lights that I'm going to set up, and then I have one, this is a 10 watt, this is a red blue light. Now there is some debate on what kind of grow lights are best for growing, either, you know, the full spectrum or the red blue spectrum. Because of the mixture of stuff that I have, I figured I'd kind of combine things together and just try and get the best of both worlds the best I can. Now my idea with these is to have the 2 white lights on both the front and the back side, and then have the red blue spectrum in the middle. I think that's how I want to do it. Like I said, it's just going to go up with 3M strips, and then they can chain together with the little cable cords that fit right into there. These are actually 3 different brands, but because it's all kind of the same concept, probably the same manufacturer, I'm just going to use them all together. Now, since these aren't going to be adjustable, I do what I do to get my plants a little closer to the light at the very beginning is I've got some old books that I just kind of like shove underneath the trays, and then the trays will sit on top of the books, and then I'll just periodically move books around to get the plants closer to the light, if that makes sense. And they do come with these wings that I'm gonna put on both the front side and the back side to help direct the light. But that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing. So I'll get the first one set up and then I'll show it to you. So part of the reason I chose these lights for this area is because of how like discreet they look. So when I'm not using these, you almost can't even tell that they're added to the shelves. This is why I didn't want to use some of those like bulkier lights that you can adjust up and down, or even those clip lights. The clip lights are the ones I've used in the past, and it's just, you get this big black mass and they do what they're supposed to do, but kind of wanted to, you know, mellow out how obvious my lights were. And so this silver to this aqua teal sea foam, whatever you want to call this color, kind of goes nice together. It's part of the reason why I put these wings on it as well, so you aren't looking at the light. And it will also probably be a lot more helpful on your eyeballs, so you're not looking directly at the light, because this is a high trafficked area. So this is something we will be seeing all growing season. So there is that. The next part of this project is getting all of the cords connected and configured. Now I have this little on-off switch that has 2, and I also have some that have 1. I think I'm gonna put the red blue lights on their own little on-off, and then I can put both back and front on their own little toggle switch, so it doesn't have to be full blast all the time. I can kind of configure it as I needed. And then I also have these connector cords, which I need to figure out what is the best use for each of those. So, because whatever I do on this side, I want to do on the other side. I want them to mirror each other. I do have some zip ties so that I can clean up the cords a little bit after I have everything plugged in and figured out. But for now, I'm just gonna try, I guess. This is gonna be a disaster, but a beautiful one. Here is this completed shelf. It's just these 3 shelves on this side. Let's see if I can get a better view. Yeah. So this is all of them lit up. Now, cord management isn't the greatest. I couldn't find a way to do it the best, and I'll probably be fiddling with that for a while before I get it to a place that I'm okay with. Especially on this side right here. I mean, there's really no way to hide that. I've always used these books over here in the past, kind of hide it from the main viewpoint, which is this way. And so I think that's okay. What I also didn't anticipate was the fact that I don't know if you can tell. Let me put you down. But that middle is a little bit more warm than the rest of them. So that's a different brand, and I didn't realize it was going to be a warmer light. So let me just turn off the red. No, that was the front. So when I turn off the red, you can really see it. So that middle shelf is that warm color where you've got cool colors on the top and bottom. If you turn off the front, you can see that different color. And I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. It's just something I kind of didn't anticipate. So that's interesting. I now have the other side to do, so we'll be back. And here is side number 2. It's got a lot of the same layout. Like I said, I wanted to keep them the same, so it went a lot faster. But as you can see, this shelf has more of the warm lights on it and only 1 cool light. So if I turn off the red, and then I turn off, so you can see it there. So it's all warm, 1 cool, but it's interesting how it kind of ends up evening out when you've got all of them on. And so this just sits there like that. Boom! Beautiful. So those were the 2 shelves that I have sitting up in my main area. This is actually my dining breakfast nook, if you wanna kind of know what place we're in my house. I might put these on timers, but most of the time, as soon as I get up, I'll turn them on, and when I'm going to bed, I'll turn them off, and that's just worked fine for me. I am, however, going to show you into the additional space and show you where I'm thinking about doing my starting with the seed mats, because the original place that I have done it in years past has since become my sourdough starting area, where I use that heat mat to get that starter going, especially in wintertime when it's really cold in here. And then it's also become a cat warmer. So if I try to put starts over there, I think the cats will sit on them. So I had to try and reconfigure things. So quickly, before I show you my other space, this is kind of where I'm thinking about doing my actual starting of the seeds when I'm first putting seed to soil. And so this is the heat mat. Right now it's just sitting there just because I wanted to prove I had space. It hasn't been plugged in yet. But then this tray, boom. And the dome can go on it, and it's protected from cats. This is just one of 2 possible spaces. So if I end up starting more than just 1 tray at a time, I have another space, which I will show you now. So I'm in our playroom / game room, and this is where I'm going to set up my second area. There is a full gate across here, which the dogs and the cats usually listen to. So for the most part, I think everything out here is going to be okay. I have another heat mat out here in case I need another area for starting seeds, because I can't necessarily get lights on this part of the shelf. But over here and over here, I'm gonna do some clip-on lights that will help me add additional grow space. And then you can kind of see it right here. This second shelf down here, I'm gonna hang a couple lights just in case I need even more space, because you just never know. So I'm gonna get those hung up. So let's see what we can do. So I think I screwed up. I don't think I record the progress of any of this, but this might be a little overkill. I got some clip-ons over here that I can put a tray in if I want. Of course, here's the start mat, and then this monster of a whatever that is. I have some hanging lights here. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm actually gonna use this or not. It's a little bit more precarious than I thought it was going to be, but it's a place to start, I suppose. And like I said, it's one of those things that I prefer to have the extra space and not use it than not have it and be scrambling to figure out, okay, can I get something out of my house now, or do I just not start as much as I want to start? Won't lie, I kind of like the mood lighting that these are setting up for me right now. So this is where I'm gonna close out this video. I, of course, will take you on the journey as I start my seeds. I think in a couple weeks, I have my first starts that I need to do, which I believe is celery. But before that, I am going to make some carrot seed tape, because I prefer to do my carrots from tape, because I find it easy for at least where I'm growing. But it is that time of year where I'm starting to think about what I'm gonna start cycling through my starts. Like I said, in a couple weeks, it's gonna be celery, and then it's gonna be onions, and I'm probably gonna do some lettuce because we like lettuce around here, and I've got a guinea pig upstairs who really wants some fresh lettuce. So of course, if you want to go on my seed starting journey with me, subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I would love to hear what your grow setup looks like. If this is a little too extravagant for you, totally understand. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions and what you do this time of year. Otherwise, I hope to see you again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.